Good evening, students. Today we are going to look at one of the famous theories, identity development theories in psychology, that is given by James Marcia. And he argued that identity developed through some of the stages, or identity had different stages through which individuals go through, and that's how they developed identity. So let's look at what Marcia is talking about. For him, what is identity and how does identity develop according to his theory. So, what do you think identity is? How do you define identity? If someone asks you what is identity or who you are as a person, what are the major aspects of your life that you think that defines you as a person, or that is very important for you to describe your identity? Or there are it differs from person to person, right? For someone, for some people it might be their ideologies, their political beliefs, etc., that are the core aspects of their identity. For some other people, for some other persons, it might be a rather very different aspects, that is define their religious beliefs, might be a core part of their identity. So think about yourselves. For you, what is identity? And uh, this core beliefs or core aspects of the identity that you hold on to, or when I ask you who you are as a person, what comes to your mind? How did you came up with it, or when did you start uh, reflecting on or committing to this particular identity? When did you start believing on? When did you come to know that about this particular political belief, or when did you come to see that there are different types of political beliefs, and when did you understand that okay, this is very nice political belief, or this is very uh, interesting political belief, or a religious belief, or a spiritual belief, and this is something I would like to commit, or this is something I would like to incorporate in my life? When did you take such a decision, and when did you come to know that okay, this is something out there, something that I should be exploring, and this is something that I want to incorporate in my life? Reflect on that. Okay, when you reflect on, when you start reflecting, let's uh, go through what Marcia has talked in his theory about identity and identity development. Okay, so as we know, when I'm talking about the particular concept, the identity, when we think about our life itself, we know that how our identity has changed with time and experiences, and how as we go through different ages, different experiences, it has changed a lot. There might be very crucial experiences in our life that has changed the course in which our identity was flowing, or a moment in our life where we reflected back on a particular identity that we were holding to, and we just changed our ideologies or our occupations altogether. So let's see what Marcia is talking about in his theory on this identity development. Yes, so the process of finding out true self results in finding what psychologists have called our identity. So we looking at our, the our behaviors, our preferences, our thoughts, talents, beliefs, etc. All of these are what psychologists look towards, when we tell this is our identity. Okay, so uh, when you think about when you were a child, okay, when you were a child, if someone asks you what you want to be when you grown up, and what is your dream, when you grow up, what do you have to be, what was your answer, and what is your answer now, and what was important for you when you were a child. Okay, when you were a child, what was important things in your life, and what are your important things right now in your life? Okay, so, and has it evolved over time? Has this identity, this belief, this aspects that was important for you changed over time? Think about it. So, in Marcia's theory, as I was talking about before, he talks about the formation of identity and the development of it. So he decided to interview a lot of different people, and he asked about how they developed their beliefs, preferences, etc. And he also believed that when we say identity, so I was discussing what is identity for you, how you define identity. So for you, the major aspects of identity for, well, maybe different aspects, but according to James Marcia, he believed that the identity is mostly based on the occupation and our ideologies. Okay, and occupation, he told that, according to him, this was the main role one has in a society. And the second thing was the ideology. The second base was ideology, and it was the fundamental beliefs like about the religion, about the politics, different views we have, opinions that we have on different things uh, around our society, how on the in some what some major issues are going on in the world, and what is our opinions on that, and how our political viewpoints is determining our uh, behaviors, preferences, interests, etc. So basically, these two major aspects are what Marcia believed that are the important parts of our identity. So he did these different interviews, and on these interviews, Marcia developed this theories, or he told that there are four major identity statuses or degree to which a person has achieved a set of identity. So as we go through this theory, think about your identity and the major aspects of your identity and how you developed it. Okay. So Marcia told that there is, as we're seeing, there is four identity status, and the four identity status are: one is identity diffusion, the second one is identity foreclosure, and the third one is identity moratorium, and the fourth one is identity achievement. So what is identity diffusion? So according to Marcia, identity diffusion is a stage where we has not yet made a commitment to one identity. When I'm talking about identity, it might be any aspects like a religious belief or a political belief or occupation for that matter. Okay, so have not a person has not yet made a commitment. At the same time, the person has not explored the choices. The person doesn't know that okay, commitment has to be made, or there are choices out there and this is possible as of now. For example, let's think about when you were a child or before this adolescent period. You may not have had major thoughts about on your career or on your political ideologies, etc. Right? All these thoughts, major thoughts about how to have this particular belief or this particular viewpoint came to you majorly when you were came to your adolescent or your young adulthood period for that matter. So in the identity, when a person is in their identity diffusion period, they haven't made a commitment as of yet, plus they haven't explored anything as of now. Then comes the second status, that is the identity foreclosure. When a person is in the identity foreclosure, the adolescent, most probably the adolescents are the one who goes from this identity diffusion stage to the identity foreclosure, then to the identity moratorium. And when the adolescent age is finished, they come to the identity achievement period. So in the identity foreclosure period, what Marcia discusses is, in this stage the adolescent is willing to commit to some relevant roles. Okay, relevant roles as in, now the adolescent might have started thinking about different roles in their occupation or ideologies that they might have to commit to, and but as of now they haven't. They in this, when the person is in this particular identity status, that is identity foreclosure, exploration haven't take place. The person just commits to a particular identity that has been passed on by their parents, or just to conform with the society. They might have taken up a belief or just an ideology, so anything for that matter. So identity foreclosure happens. That is, the adolescent commits to some relevant roles without exploration. Exploration hasn't take place in this stage. Next is the third status, that is the identity moratorium. In this stage, in this particular status, identity status, what happens is the adolescent is in a crisis. Now the adolescent knows there are a lot of choices available. There is a lot of exploration to do, and the adolescent started exploring the choices that they have. But a commitment has not made. The ex-adolescent is still what exploring the whatever choices they have. Then comes the fourth one, that is the identity achievement. In the last and this fourth identity status, Marcia tells that the here this in this final identity status, the um, adolescent has committed to a particular identity. The adolescent has gone through this identity crisis, gone through all the exploration, gone through all the choices, and made a commitment to a sense of identity. Or he has chosen that particular identity, and that is the final stage where a person accepts or commits to one identity. And yes, that is the final stage according to according to Marcia in the identity development and or the identity formation for that matter. So that's it, guys.